Welcome back, this is Madan. In this demo we'll continue implementing our watchlist feature from where we left in our previous demo. So in the previous demo we created our watchlist model and created the relationship between our watchlist and application user, watchlist and pet. So we created our watchlist model and created the relationship between our application user and watchlist and pet, and we also created corresponding database table for the watchlist. So in this demo we will implement other features required to create watchlist. So let's first create the repository. So I'm going to create a file here called watchlist watchlist repository repository.cs. So this is going to be an interface, and it is in the namespace of mbcdemo.repository. Let's create an interface, public interface, and watchlist repository. Now I'm going to add a few methods that we are gonna need to create the watchlist, remove items from watchlist, and to view the items of the watchlist. So let's define the method. So first of all, let's define the method to create the watchlist, void create, and in this method we will be passing a parameter watchlist, and let's bring in the namespace for watchlist. It's in the mbcdemo.models. Now we will be creating another method to fetch the watchlist from the database table. So its type gonna be list of watchlist get, let's say get user watchlist, and we'll be passing argument here of user ID, string user ID. So we will get the watchlist of the user from the database. And the next method that we will implement is to remove the items from the watchlist. So let's write a method called void remove, and in this method we will be passing a watchlist as a parameter. With this, our interface is ready. Now let's head over to the repository and let's create a class called watchlist repository.cs, and this is in the namespace of mbcdemo.repository, and let's generate a class, public class watchlist repository, and this class is going to implement watchlist repository. And let's implement the interface here. And now we have to provide the implementation for those methods. So to interact with the watchlist in the database, we need to bring in the application db context and inject that through the constructor of this class. So let's generate the constructor and watchlist repository, and the parameter we'll be passing is application db context. Let's say context. Let's bring in the namespace for application db context, and let's create a private variable application db context underscore txt context, so that we can store what is coming inside this constructor into the private field and use that throughout the entire class. So from here we can do it underscore context equal to context. And now let's create the watchlist here. We can use our context and we can use our dbset properties watchlist, and let's add the watchlist. We want to add the watchlist that is passed from here. And finally we can do is context.save changes to write the collection of watchlist, or to write this watchlist to the database. Now next thing we are going to implement this method which will get the watchlist based on the user ID. So, and return the list of the watchlist. Return context dot watchlist dot where where. Let's bring in the namespace for the where, and let's say u goes to w goes to w dot user id dot equals the argument that is passed here, and we want to execute the query by doing toList, and let's bring this into multiple lines. And along with the watch list, we also want to bring in the pairs that is associated with the given watch list. So what we can do is include w goes to w dot pet. Oops. And let's bring in the namespace for this as well. So what this does is it goes out to the database watchlist table, and it filters the watchlist table based on the user ID, and then include the pet that is associated with the given watchlist and return the watchlist. The next method we are going to implement is remove. So this method is going to remove the watchlist from the database. So we can do is context dot watchlist dot remove, and we are going to pass the watchlist, and then finally we want to apply the changes to the database. So let's do context dot save changes, and this is the implementations of our watchlist repository. And the final thing we need to do is we need to go to our startup class and then register our and then we need to connect our watchlist repository with our iWatchlist repository, so that we can inject this iWatchlist repository into our constructor and use the watchlist repository from there. So same like before, we do services dot add transient iWatchlist repository, and we want to connect this to the watchlist repository, and let's save this. Now our watchlist repository is ready, and in another demo we will be creating our watchlist controller and watchlist view. So this is the end of the demo, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.